It's Teresa. I'm starting just a little bit early to get my technology set up. So if you're tuning in right away, just want to let you know that I am just getting set up here and we will begin our actual program here shortly. So let me share this to, oops, that's not the right thing. Or is it? Hold on. Morning, Lori. How are you? Okay. Search Stampin. There we go. Okay. So, all right. Just getting set up here, and as people join, let me go ahead and get this going here. As is always, I'm actually hoping that I can, here we go. Hoping that I can actually see comments today, but we will see. Okay. Share now. Oops. Hold on. Where did I share that to? I think I just shared it to my personal page, but that's okay. Everybody gets to see that today. Share to a group. No. Gosh, you guys, you'd think that I would have this down, and I don't. Silliness. Share to a page. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. Okay. There we go. Wait, is that me? There we are. Okay. Okay. All right. Could someone please leave me a comment? Because I think I can see comments here today. Today might be a first for us. Okay, well, since I am up and things seem to be going well, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, good Saturday morning. It's still 9 a.m. here on the west coast of the United States. My name is Theresa Forsyth. I'm a independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. I'm specifically in Bothell, Washington, which is a suburb of Seattle. We're a little bit north and a little bit east of the Seattle city limits. So I'm about a 10-minute drive or so to Seattle. And anyway, I'm just excited that you're here with me this morning. Oh, hi, Tia. Okay, wonderful. I can see comments. So hopefully I can add comments or respond to comments as we go today. So anyway, first thing I want to do is go ahead and, after welcoming you, I want to announce our prizes from last week for sharing. So I like to give away prizes for sharing the video. So if you're watching, if you click the share button and share it to your personal page or some group that you want to post it to, don't post it to the Stampin' with Theresa business page or my personal page or the Stampin' with Theresa group, because I do all of that. So you don't need to do that. But if you share it somewhere else, and then if you type in the comments that you shared, that will help me know who shared, because I can see that there are shares, but I don't know who actually shared unless you type share in the comments. So that's how these prizes are selected. So this week we actually had 2 shares, so thank you so much. So for our projects last week, Lynn DeHart is the winner of the cards that we made in last week's Facebook Live, which are 3 really lovely cards. So Lynn, I'm super excited for you. I will get these out in the mail on Monday for you. And then the winner of our card kit is Janet Gottschalk. So thank you so much, Janet. And I will be sending you this kit. I need your address, Janet. Lynn, I have yours, but Janet, I need yours. So I'll respond to your post where you said that you shared and let you know that I need your address. But you're going to get this card kit. And the best part about this thing is this is a completely all-inclusive kit. Lots of adorable cards and everything's all ready for you. So I will get these in the mail on Monday or as soon as I get your address, Janet. Okay, so let's set those aside. So this week's prizes are going to be the projects that we make today as one prize, but I have a super special prize for today, the stamp set. I'm giving away 2 celebration items that you could really only get this from our celebration catalog with a $50 purchase, and then the dies, I'm going to send you the coordinating dies too. This is a $100 purchase, so you would have to spend $150 on Stampin' Up! Products to get this entire set. So I hope that motivates you to share, because I got to tell you, sharing really helps me and I really appreciate it. So go ahead and share away and just make sure you type that you've shared it so you will be entered. And I see, Tia, you shared it. Thank you so much. So anyway, so those are some great prizes coming your way next week. All right, you guys, I am excited to announce that I have a new team member this week. In fact, Tia is in the group with us right now. Tia Biggs joined my team this week. So Team Stampin' with Theresa. So Team SWT is what I'm calling it right now, but believe me, that name is up for discussion and it will be changed at some point. But for right now, I'm calling it Team SWT. I have an exclusive Facebook group for my team members. And so anyway, if you're interested in joining the team, this is the perfect time to do it, because if you're a hobbyist and just want to take advantage of the discount and all of the goodies that come in the starter kit, there's no obligation for anything. I am happy to talk to you guys about that. In fact, I'm going to set up a I love to stamp evening that I will be doing online, and I could even do it in person for people who are local. And so we will do this coming up. You know, I think in a couple of weeks I'm going to do this. So it'll give you a chance to ask questions. You know, I started as a hobbyist in 2008, and it wasn't until this last November that I decided that I was going to transition into building my business. So you can do anything you want, and there's no commitment. You know, you can just get your starter kit and you're in for a quarter. And if you don't feel like making any kind of minimums, oh well, no big deal. You can still be a customer, and the best part is you can even rejoin if you decide you want to join again later at some point. So I'll set up a separate time to talk about that in more detail, so keep your eyes out for that. And everybody, please give Tia a warm welcome to the team. So I'm so excited to have you here, Tia. In fact, Tia and I are going to have a call after a little bit after the Facebook Live today, and where I'm going to show her all the cool things about being a demonstrator. Okay. So this week I received some really cute cards in the mail that I want to share with you guys. So I hope you don't mind, but I like sharing because, you know, it's all about inspiration, right? And I love seeing your creativity. So the first card I got was actually from a local customer here in the Woodinville area, and she sent me this really beautiful card. What she did was she used a die cut and then put some washi tape underneath to make the butterfly, and then drew in the body, and then just stamped the greeting. And that is just a beautiful card. It's so simple, it's so sweet, and I really love it. And she wrote me a nice little note on the inside as well. So thank you so much, Joan. I really appreciated this card. And you guys, in the envelope she sent me, it was all kinds of vintage stamps on it, which is just speaks to my heart. Okay, so you'll recall that I posted, if you want a Valentine card, I'll send you one. Well, my friend Dawn, she sent me one right back. She sent me this beautiful card. She loves purple and lavender, so this card, I mean, this is just gorgeous. Her coloring's amazing. It looks like she fussy cut this image out, and she did an amazing job. I wish you guys could see this card in person because it's absolutely stunning and there's a lot of dimension there. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Dawn. I love you so much and I miss you. Dawn is one of my friends from when I used to live in Minnesota. She actually lives in Wisconsin, but we met through stamping and we've been good friends for many years now. And then I received this card from my friend Sydney. She's in the Love to Stamp group, which is my uplines group here on Facebook. And that's how she and I have met. And we do rack cards every month. So she sent me this gorgeous card. I want to show you guys this background detail of this background die. When I saw this in the catalog, I've always been like, meh, not for me. But now that this is the first time I've seen this in person in real life, and let me tell you, it is stunning. It is absolutely gorgeous. And then she cut out the image from this paper that we had at Christmas time. And this still may be available because this was available while supplies last. So, and I know this gold ribbon is definitely still available in the Stampin' Up! Store. So anyway, beautiful card, Sydney. Thank you so, so much. I love it. I love receiving handmade cards. I save them all and I display them in my craft room. So thank you for sending me those cards, you guys. I love them. So this is between January and March 31st is an extremely busy and interesting time for Stampin' Up. We have not only our annual catalog, but it's what's called Sale-abration time. And there's also a mini catalog that's released at the same time too. And then to top it all off, they released an out-of-publication coordinating products release as well. So we have so many things going on right now. And as if that wasn't enough, they just did a second Sale-abration release. So we now have 2 Celebration catalogs, you guys. 2! It's insane. So next week, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to start working with products out of this one, but let me just give you a quick look. For people who have requested catalogs recently, you're going to automatically receive this. I'll be mailing this to you. So there's some beautiful flowering foil specialty paper. You can do all kinds of techniques with it. I cannot wait to show you guys that. It is so beautiful in person. I thought that the dies for the Cup of Cheer dies that they released in the Christmas or the holiday catalog last year were going to be retired, but it looks like they're not. They are releasing another coffee set, and these are a stamp set that you can use both sides of the stamp. It's amazing. It's called reversible stamps. So, and there's a coordinating die set too, but you can only find that by searching it in the store. So I'm going to link that die set in the video after it's all over, and I will let you know how to get that if you want to buy the stamp set. Mama is a major coffee drinker. As you can see right here, I have got my venti latte that I drink at least one every day because I have a problem. So there's a nice masculine set in here called Well Dressed. I love the samples that they put in here, and I love that this is going to go really well with the Country Club's designer series paper in the spring catalog. And then there's this gorgeous embossed vellum that they've released, and in the most beautiful spring colors. So it's in Pool Party, Purple Posy, and Soft Seafoam. And obviously I'm going to have to make some stuff with that, so I'll be posting projects with those things as well. This might be my favorite thing in the catalog. This is called Tags in Bloom. So you can use coordinating punches of punches that we have. It coordinates with the Label Me Fancy punch and the Label Me Lovely punch that is in this current spring catalog. But I love these sentiments so much. So keep your eye out for projects made with that. And then this just is kind of the at a glance of all the Stampin' Up! Stuff that's available for Celebration. Now, one thing I want to tell you is these things are while supplies last, okay? And point in case the sequin and metallic Baker twine combo pack has already sold out, you guys. So this is no longer available. So just keep that in mind. If you have your eye on something in the Celebration catalogs, you got to jump on it because it'll be gone before we know it. And these are all limited time offerings. Okay, you guys, I think that's enough chit chat. Let's get started with our stamping. I did a poll this week, and So I did a poll and I wanted to know what you're interested in seeing. Is it a fun fold? Is it a technique? Is it a product demonstration? And it was quite equal with what you guys wanted to see. In fact, several of you voted for all three of them, or a couple people, I should say it. And so, you know what? I'm going to incorporate all of it into today's class. So I hope you like the projects. And let's see, I'm going to start with a fun fold today. So let me get my stuff. And by the way, I can see the comments, so thank you. And hi, Lori. I see that you're saying hi. But I'm going to really start keeping my head down with stamping. I will address all comments and all questions after today's live. So if I miss you, don't worry. We will get to it. I promise. So we are going to make this beautiful card. This is a fun fold. It's a really simple fun fold. So it opens up into this. So, and this is also going to involve actually a little bit of a technique as well. So, because I didn't like the entire sentiment here, so I took off a bit at the bottom to make it more of a friendship card instead of a Mother's Day card. So I'm going to kind of show you a little technique there. But anyway, let's get to stamping this super cute fun fold. Okay. Using the tea set. I'm in a spring mood this week because it's starting to be daylight after 5 p.m., which is exciting. So here's our goodies. We're going to use the basic Jewels pearls, and then we're using the Tea Together stamp set with the Tea Time Framelits dies. And I'm actually going to bust out the Big Shot today. We are going to use the Highland Heather ink pad and then a couple Stampin' Right markers. So what we need, I've already got everything prepped in our little envelope. So this card is cut at 8 1/4, okay, by 4 1/4, okay. So it's a piece of 8 1/2 by 11 cardstock, basically cut in half, and then I trimmed off this piece. I scored it at, so it goes like this. So, and this is scored at 5 1/2. So I cut this off to make this 2 3/4 inch piece, because this is now going to become our layering piece right there. How easy is that, you guys? It's the easiest fun fold there ever was. Okay, let me grab my bone folder and let's make a crease. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. Sometimes you may not be able to see this, but when you use your paper trimmer, you get this little ridge where the blade kind of divots down into the paper. And if you don't want that to show, just take your fingernail and smooth it out. It's quite easy. I also just put it on the inside of the card too sometimes, because you know, I figure people don't notice that. But if you want a real clean finished look, just take your fingernail and do a light rub against the edge there to eliminate that kind of dip in the card on that edge. I don't like that at all. Okay. We have a piece of paper from the Best Dressed Designer Series paper packet, which I actually happen to have here. I'm designing a class right now for March that is using this paper as well. I love this paper. This is the paper that's got the makeup on one side and the flowers on the other, but this particular paper actually has flowers on both sides. So that's just a little layering piece that we're going to put right here. And then of course I've got my inside panel because I like to have that white to write on the inside. So let's go ahead and get to stamping, you guys. We are going to start with the teacup. And let me show you, it's got the center cut out, which is really interesting because, you know, sometimes when you have stamps with a solid middle and you're inking it, you get ink on the middle, and that is no bueno when you are trying to stamp. You do not want to get ink in that middle and then get it on your project. And then we are also using the teacup. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this on a block. This is a block my upline gave me for attending an event. Let's see, we're using this rose. And we are using this little sentiment here. We're kind of using all the stamps pretty much because I was having fun with it, and I just was feeling the set. So we're doing it. So, and then finally this sentiment. So I'm just mounting everything. All right. Let's set that aside for a moment. Let's go ahead and stamp the inside of our card real quick. So I'm going to show you this little technique of masking. I have these little baby Post-it notes right here. And this has a sentiment. It's a really beautiful sentiment, and it says at the end, our love is one that covers the years through life's joys and sometimes tears, a bond that stands the test of time. I just want to end it, a bond that stands the test of time, because I have, this is actually, I'm using this as a birthday card for one of my best friends in the world, and we are the kinds of friends that, you know, just love each other so much. We're always laughing and we are always crying, and we have a serious bond that we've had since we were in the 6th grade, actually, and before we even really knew who each other was. It's kind of weird. It's a weird story, but anyway. So I want to take those 2 lines off because we are not mother and daughter. We are dear, dear friends. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take this Post-it note and just stick it to those bottom 2 lines because we don't need that in our life right now. And I am going to open up the Highland Heather pad. I'm having a little bout of arthritis this week, you guys. So if it looks like I'm having trouble with things, it's not because these products are difficult. It's because I have a little bit of a psoriatic arthritis flare up this week. So, but that's okay. So I'm taking that off like that. Now, sometimes you want to make sure that the ink did not go through the Post-it. And then, the key is remember to take that off. Okay, and then we're just going to stamp this right in the center. And that's fantastic. That turned out really nice. And then I want to just give this the flower border here a little bit of loveliness to the inside of the card. So pretty. I just love it. Okay, so let's set that aside for now. We will be coming back to that. Okay, so now while we're at it, let's just grab our envelope, and I'm going to do the large rose on the lower left part of the backside of the envelope here where you write your address. Gorgeous. We are also going to use this to make our own little background paper for this little layering piece. So I'm just going to kind of start, and we're going to just randomly stamp this. And we're using the Purple Posy cardstock, and as I've told you guys in the past, there was an unfortunate quality issue with the Purple Posy ink, resulting in us not actually getting to ever have the Purple Posy ink. It was determined to be unresolvable, unfortunately. So the formula was just not good, and Stampin' Up sticks by all of their products, and they're not releasing the Purple Posy ink because it's just not a good quality. And I appreciate that. I understand. As much as I would love to have the ink, but the good news is the Highland Heather goes really nicely with the Purple Posy, and if you did it the stamp off technique, it lightens up really nicely, so it's not too big of a deal. Okay, I'm just cleaning as I go from the stamps. Okay, now let us stamp our teacup, our tea kettle and our teacup. So cute. I don't even really like tea, but my friend loves tea, so I'm sending it. I do like a tea kettle, though. I think they're pretty. And this just kind of makes me think of Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast. I'm a dork. I know. I know this about myself. Okay, that turned out perfect. I'm really happy with how that came out. Okay, and I wanted to give this a little bit of a decoration. So I'm going to use that same flower that we stamped on the inside panel of the card. Put it right here in the middle of the teapot, so it's kind of a decorative china teapot here. Okay, and now we're going to do the teacup and saucer. Okay. And I'm going to put a greeting on the front of the card inside the saucer. So it leaves a nice little opening, and we are going to put, let me position this just a little bit better here. Let's look and see since it's a sentiment. Okay, I'm going to want this a little bit more like that. Oh, too far over. Okay, that's good. I'm going to stamp it right in the middle. Love is a cup of warm tea, or love is a warm cup of tea. So cute. Okay. And we are done with our stamping. So let's close up our ink pad because that is inviting disaster, leaving open ink on your desk. Let's get rid of this too. We're done with that mask. Okay, let's color real quick. I just wanted to color the insides of these flowers on the inside here. And this I'm using the Petal Pink. And I'm just drawing this out of the color here, out of the middle of this paper. And then I'm going to color the leaves in Pear Pizzazz. Even though this is Old Olive in the paper, I'm doing Pear Pizzazz because I wanted it to stay a little bit more on the pastel side. So we'll just color those right in. Really quick and simple. This is one that's just a fun card that's easy to cut. It's fun to stamp. There's lots of stamping on it. Little tiny bit of coloring. I just had a lot of fun making this card and designing it up for you today. So I'm going to set aside, we're going to die cut these, but before we do that, let's start with our gluing here. Let's put this panel on the inside, and I'm using my liquid glue because that's my favorite glue to use. I like the wiggle room. Okay. And we're just going to center this on the inside here. And you can also write on the inside here, or you can just write on the side if you don't want your writing to show beyond this. See how that's going to cover that up perfectly? I love it. Okay, let's glue this piece of Designer Series paper. Okay. Just like so. So did everybody have a nice week this week? I had a good week. It was a full week for me at the office. And as I mentioned, I've got a little bit of my arthritis flare up, which is no big deal. I deal with that all the time, so I'm not complaining, but it has affected my foot in a crazy way lately. And so I've had some trouble walking this week, which sucks. I hate foot pain. It's the worst. Okay. So I'm just gluing that down, and notice I only put the glue on that side because we do not want the glue to hold this down here. You guys, look how pretty that is. That tone-on-tone stamping, and then that just the hint of the extra colors from that paper. Okay, let's grab the big shot. This is the only card we're going to actually die cut on today, so not to worry. I'm going to pull out the dies that we need, which is the big tea kettle and the teacup. Okay, I'm just gonna do one at a time, so we'll do 2 passes today. Start with the kettle. I'm using the magnetic base plate or magnetic platform here, and I am going to line this up. And what's nice is it's going to cut out even that middle part of the kettle, the handle part, so that's really cute that it does that. And I'm just lining this up so it cuts out with as even of a white border around the stamped image as possible. Oops, did I just move that? Okay, I think we're okay. All right, so we're just building our standard sandwich and cranking it on through. Does anyone have any fun weekend plans going on? I am taking it easy because of my foot. Look at it, so cute. But tomorrow I'm going to cook some food for a friend who just had rotator cuff surgery, and going to take it over for her and her family so she can't cook because her poor shoulder and arm, she can't do anything. I feel so bad. I had a rotator cuff injury a few years ago and I didn't need surgery. Luckily, the physical therapy helped, but I know what kind of pain that is and how debilitating it is. So I'm excited to bring her over some meals so they can at least have a couple home cooked meals this week. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna run that right through. And you guys, how pretty is that? Look, so cute. This is kind of outside of my normal Stampin' die set. Like, I would not normally pick out a tea set at all, but for some reason this one just called to me. And it's been out for a little while too. It's not a new set by any means. Okay, so how I positioned this is I'm gonna just glue this straight down like this, and then I'm gonna pop this up on dimensionals to the left of the kettle. So let's grab our glue and our dimensionals. And let's go. Oh, Tia, you're so sweet. You wish you could help me cook? I wish you could too. I am not a great cook. I like it to a degree, but I wish I was a better cook. My dad is a great cook. But that's okay. My friend's name is also Theresa, so Theresa's just happy she's just super grateful. And so I think that they're a non-picky eating family. So, and I'm gonna make simple stuff. I'm out of the big dimensionals, you guys. They're on order. Can you even believe that? So I'm using the minis. Oh, which reminds me, I'm giving away a free packet of mini dimensionals this month, free with a $30 purchase in my online store. So if you need to make a purchase, if you spend $30, I will send you the mini dimensionals for free. I love them. Okay, and then there's that. So let's go ahead and embellish with the pearls. You guys, this is the old packaging of the pearls, but we still sell the pearls. So just so don't get confused, I'm gonna just grab my scissors and we're gonna do like all three sizes, because you know how I am a fan of all three sizes. So let's just go ahead and put the medium, that's the mommy one, here's the baby, and we'll put the daddy on the tea kettle. Here's the big daddy. And it's covering up the coloring, but I still colored it because I don't know why. I just did. So you guys, there we have it. Easy, easy. Here's a couple differences. I stamped off on the background so you could see how the Highland Heather can be like very tonal for the purple posy. But I decided I kind of wanted the interest of the full strength stamp on this one. I really love how it turned out. So if you share the video, you have a chance to win this card along with our other cards. Oh, thanks, Lori. I'm glad you like it. It's easy. It's easy. And you just cannot go wrong with this designer series paper. That is just beautiful paper. Okay, you guys. Card number 1 is done. Let me just set everything aside. And we are going to move on. Let me just put these away. My rule of stamping and using dies is I have to put them away right when I use them, because otherwise I will lose them. They fall in the garbage. They just get up and walk away, kind of like how your socks do in your laundry. So if there's nothing else you discipline yourself about, make sure you're putting your stamps or your dies at least away. Stamps aren't as big of a deal, but since we're doing it, I'm just gonna show you what I do. We'll just go ahead and put these back on here because I already cleaned them. I always put my stamps away clean. I never put them away dirty, and not because anything will happen to them, but because inevitably when I go to use them, I will forget that they're not clean and, you know, not get my desired result. Okay, so we're done with these cards. Moving along. Our next card is going to be a product showcase here, and what we're doing is we're making this card, and this is using a die set from our coordinating product release. So let me show you that real quick. Hold on, let me move these away. Where is my little folder? They came out with, remember I told you that it's out of publication. So they came out with the coordinating product release, and they came out with this Sending Flowers dies, which is meant to coordinate with the Sending You Thoughts stamp set in the Celebration catalog. Okay. So we are going to use this set, and we're using the cute thank you sentiment in the stamp set. And what we're showcasing is not the die necessarily, but rather I'm showing you in colors. And let me show you something. In the annual catalog, oops, sorry. In the annual catalog, every year we release new in colors. So last year's catalog, which came out in June, this year's is going to come out in a couple months in June. So we're going to get a whole new set of in colors. So these are the current ones that were released last year. These were the ones that were set for 2018 to 2020. Why am I telling you this? Well, at some point they're going to release that this is going to officially retire. It'll probably be maybe around early April. That's, I think, usually when they do that. When they announce that, this stuff flies, and it's, you know, a frenzy to get all the paper and the pens and the ink pads and all that. So since we're having Celebration, and if you want to stock up on these gorgeous colors, this is the time to do it, because everything's still in stock. They're still going to reorder if something goes on back order. So there's no problem with getting your products. And these will most likely retire in colors. I have never seen them not retire, but what I have seen is I have seen them come back in future color refreshes. So if you already have these stamp sets and or these inks, you know, hang on to them. One of these colors could come back at some point. I don't know. I have no inside information. I'm just saying I've seen it happen. So I think Mint Macaron actually started out as an in color. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that started out as an in color, and that is now part of our Subtles collection. So just letting you know. These are our current colors, which this is actually one of my all-time favorite in color combinations we've ever had. I am in love with these colors, and I love these colors. They're so bright and vibrant. So we are making a beautiful card today using those colors. Okay, so if you have any questions about the in colors and Celebration, if you stock up now, if you spend $50, you get a free Celebration set, which would mean that you could get this Sending You Thoughts stamp set if you'd like. Okay, so let's go ahead. We are using this die, but I actually already cut it out, but I just want to show you what it looks like. It's this round die here, and then I have a flag here as well that we're going to use today. And let me tell you, when I made this card, I was stunned at how easily that die popped out. You know, sometimes when you have little intricate dies, it can take a minute to get things out, but not for this card. That die, everything fell out beautifully, and there was no giant craziness going along with getting it out. We're using the Blueberry Bushel in color for our card base. You guys, this is a gorgeous true blue. These are really kind of primary brights, you know. So we're using this gorgeous true blue color, Blueberry Bushel. This is one of the colors I'm going to be sad to miss. Blues are my favorite colors. Okay. Oh, did I say I pre-cut it? Oh my gosh, I'm such a liar. I thought I did, but I didn't. So guess what? We're die cutting. Now I actually get to show you how easy this all is. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I don't intentionally lie. It's just that I actually had my stuff together this week, and I designed these cards a few days ago and thought that I did this one, but I didn't. So but that's good. It works out. So sorry about the lies. They were unintentional. But this is actually better because you can see how easily this thing cuts out. So what I've got here is a 4x4 square, and we are going to This fits just perfectly on here, so you want to make sure it's not climbing over the edges. And then we're going to take this little scrap of Whisper White and cut that out. And we'll do one pass. Uh-oh. I know I said I would do one pass, but well, we'll see how it goes. I made that banner go askew. Let's see if it cut out okay. Oh, good. It did. It's fine. Okay. So we'll take this off. You guys watch this. This just takes a flick. Gets those little dots out. Or you can just take your finger along the back edge like that. And then this comes up. And this is centerpiece is the one that just pops right out. Look at this. It literally, the white cardstock here is just butter to this die. Check that out. Done. Easy. A couple of these little guys that just get a little poked out with your fingernails. No big deal. And the centers we can pop out too. Okay. So for real, we're done with this. If this happens, gets left behind, make sure you brush those things off, because if you don't, when you go to use it again, and if they're still there, they're going to leave bumps in your paper for your next die cut, and you won't be happy with that. So make sure you just brush them right off, just like that. That's a pro tip for using the Big Shot. Okay, so after I've been found out about lying to you, let's go ahead and just move along. Nothing to see here. So this is our inside card, our inside panel. So this is cut to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Well, actually, it's cut by 8 1/2. Okay, by 4 1/4. And if you score at 4 1/4, this gives you a card. It gives you an interesting shaped card, but it fits perfectly into an envelope. If you were to mail this square card in a square envelope, you'd have to pay extra postage because it's not machinable. But if you were to put it in a regular envelope, like we're going to, like I decorated this with the thanks, they're going to know you're thanking them for something. So you just go ahead and put it in a normal envelope and you are good to go. I'm going to show you a couple really fun things that I did on that envelope. Okay, so here's our sample. We're using the markers, and we're using the Call Me Clover, Pineapple Punch, Grapefruit Grove, and Lovely Lipstick. So first thing I'm going to do is color the stems. I'm going to use my take your pick tool and quickly poke out these remaining dots. There's a little guy there. These holes are actually, we're going to cover these with some little dots, some enamel dots, but we'll just poke them out right now. Okay. So just using the brush end tip of your Stampin' Right marker, all you got to do is color your stems. So easy peasy. You could also cut this out in green, and there's little dies for each of the flowers. And so you can cut out all the flowers in the different color cardstock and then just glue them to the top of the flowers as well. But I really wanted to do coloring on this because I didn't want it to look perfect. I wanted it to look kind of artsy, and leave a little bit of white space here and there and just kind of give it that like intentionally sloppy look, I guess. I don't know, it sounds kind of weird to say that, but you know, not perfect. I like a not perfect looking card. So we're just quickly coloring. You could use your blends too for this. Those will give you a much more perfect look to your coloring. And I could have chosen those, but I wanted to use the Stampin' Right markers because I did not want the blended perfect look. Just kind of depends on what you're going for. And this is such a bright, cheerful thank you card. And you could really do any sentiment on it. I just chose thanks because I need thank you cards. And so it's really any kind of card. And the bright colors are good for just about anyone. I mean, you could even send this to a man. I might leave off that lovely lipstick bow if I were going to send it to a dude, but you know, there are dude gardeners out there that love their flowers. In the Seattle area, we are big on tulips. We have an annual tulip festival, Skagit Valley Tulip Festival every year, and it's so beautiful up there. So we have a beautiful tulip set from Stampin' Up! This year that I'm going to make a set of cards using those. I think I'm going to make that into a little YouTube video, so I'll post it when that's online so you guys can check that out. Okay, so I'm using Pineapple Punch to color these little daisies. They're so cute. And again, not being perfect, just scribbling the color on. I want there to be little bits of white space here and there. This is one of those cards that's just like cathartic and fun, you know? Okay, so I'm going to do the baby tulips in the Grapefruit Grove. You know, this is actually a color I'm really going to miss. This fills a hole in our palette. We used to have one that was like crisp cantaloupe or something. This or grapefruit guava or guava something from a few years ago, and I really miss that color. So I was really glad to see Grapefruit Grove. I do love that they have new in colors every year. I am always sad to see them go. It's kind of funny because when they first release them, I'm like, huh, it's not what I would have picked. And then, you know, of course, it takes like 2 minutes and I'm in love with all of them. I forgot the Big Daisy, you guys. That's so weird. So I'm always sad to see them go. I love that Stampin' Up! Does the color refresh every few years. They did one a couple years ago, so I'm pretty confident that the end colors are going to truly retire this year as opposed to last year. So look, you guys, look how cute. So, and can you see that there's like little white space? You can see the paper core in between, and it just is such a cute, cute, cute little way. Oh, hi, Lynn. Good morning. Hey, you won again this week, Lynn. Thank you for sharing. You won the projects from last week, so I'm going to stick those in the mail to you. Okay, so I just happened to look up and saw that Lynn has joined us. Okay, so on the inside of the card, I just did thanks over and over at the bottom because you know how I like to stamp on the inside. And there's no flower stamps in this set, and I didn't want to bust out a whole nother set. I wanted to like show you guys some stuff, show you how you can quickly and easily spend $50 on stocking up on the in color products, and then you could earn this stamp set for free. Okay, so that was kind of my logic behind this. So I'm going to take that thank you card out, or that thank you sentiment out. Again, I'm just catching comments here and there, so if you have questions or comments, leave them below and I will definitely check them out. And also, I'm going to go ahead. I don't want this to be perfect. I'm stamping off the edge. And I'm okay if some of these are wonky. At the end of this video, I'm going to talk about a couple classes I have coming up, including an in-person Stamp-A-Stack event that I'm having on March 26th. It's starting to actually really fill up, which I'm super excited about. So if you're local to the area, I would love to have you join me. If you're local and have friends that want to come, tell them, let me know. I think I've got 5 people signed up already, and there's room for between 15 and 20, actually, like 20, but it kind of scares me because I hope I can manage that size of crowd, but 15 for sure. I know I can handle that, but I know that sounds so funny, doesn't it? I'm like, just a little scared to teach that many people at one time. But it'll be fun, 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 and it's at the Pizza Coop in Woodinville, and which is a really great restaurant, and they are so community oriented, and they have an awesome party room, and their food's delicious, so it's a perfect place. So see how I just stamped that, just going around the edge there like that? And on this card, on this envelope, I stamped thanks in all the in colors on here, but I think what I'm going to do on this envelope for this project is just do the lovely lipstick, and I'm going to do it along the bottom of this here. Let's do this. I'm going to show you something kind of neat here that you can do with the markers. I mean, I wouldn't do it over and over and over and over, but every now and then and lightly and carefully, it's kind of fun, and it gives you a little splatter look to it. So let me clean off this stamp and close up this ink pad because we're done stamping for this card. It's now time to just assemble. Okay. Lovely lipstick is so pretty, you guys. I actually use this color quite a bit. I love it. Okay. Now, we've got the Stampin' marker. If you take the brush end of your marker, I'm going to move all of this out of the way because I don't want this getting on anything else. But if you take your brush tip of your marker and your cap, watch this. If you flick it against the inside of your cap, it gives you some really fun splatter paint look to it. It doesn't hurt your pen, but if you did it repeatedly over and over and over and over and over, it probably eventually will start to fray your pen. But if you just want to add like a little touch here and there every now and then, it's such a fun look. Look, see how it kind of gave that splatter paint look? So cool. Okay, setting that aside, let's go ahead and assemble our card. I think I already bone foldered this. Bone foldered. Is that? I turned folder into a verb there. Okay. Let's get our glue. I'm running low on glue in this, but I have my spare out if we need it, so not to worry. I go through, oh, for crying out loud, I had ink on my fingertips. I was just thinking, wow, I haven't gotten ink on my card that I didn't want to, and then look, it just happened. Shoot, okay, it's all right. We'll just use the old sand eraser technique, and let me grab out a fresh baby wipe to clean off my fingertips. That is the problem with red and pink ink, you guys. It's the fingerprint maker. Okay, we'll let that hang out for a minute and we will go in and fix that. First, let's use our mini dimensionals and we are going to put this on the front of our card. What do you guys think of this card? What do you think of that die? It's like just like flowers and springtime and pretty. I really love it. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's coming to my house. I know it seems like I buy everything from Stampin' Up. I promise I don't. I promise I don't buy everything. I don't know who could. Okay, I'm putting mini dimensionals on each little flower, and even the ones with the holes, it's okay because we're going to cover up the holes with enamel dots anyway, so don't worry about that. In fact, the extra stickiness will help those enamel dots adhere even better than they already do. Which is kind of amazing because they're pretty strong. Okay. And put one on here. And then I'm going to take a couple, and even though these are tiny, tiny little dimensionals, I'm still going to cut them in half for a couple of these little guys. So they're little. Get your readers on. I know I need mine. Okay. Here we go. Oh my gosh, you guys. The readers came fast and hard for me this year. I have needed them for a while, but I mean, I could get by without them, but this year, no. There's no getting by anymore. So I bought bifocals. And what an adjustment that was. But I'm glad I got them. Okay, so this one's showing a little bit on the other side of that. There we go. Oops. I probably just made it worse. Nope, it's okay. All right. What I'm going to do is just trim off a little bit of that with my snips here. There we go. Okay. So what we're going to do is just center this on the front of this little square card. I love square cards. They're so different and just so cute. I do a lot of square cards. Oh, okay. Note to self. Take your backings off your dimensionals before you put it on your card. Wow. Wow. Talk about pro tip. Sheesh. It's live TV, folks. That's what happens. Look, and I missed one on that, so we'll take that other halvesy here. Well, I guess we need a little blooper reel here and there, right? I'm like, why isn't this sticking? What's wrong with these dimensions? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the dimensionals. It's a user problem. Somebody didn't take them off. I know it seems excessive on the dimensionals. I'm an excessive dimensional user anyway, but these, those flowers tend to wiggle, and I don't want them wiggling, so here we go. I was wondering why it was so easy to get this all centered too. Okay, and if you're joining a little bit late, don't forget to share. I am giving away some outstanding prizes this week. I will show them again at the end of the video. Okay, now, and then I'll answer comments and questions after the video as well. So we're getting our lovely lipstick ribbon, and we are, oops, I'm spilling my basket. Okay, and we're getting our dots. So these are the In Color Happiness Blooms enamel dots. So they've got all the in colors for 2018 to 2020. I don't use these nearly enough, so I love the bright pink, so I'm putting that right in the middle of, oops, gotta grab it first, putting that right in the middle of the big one. And then, you know, just use what you want through the rest and various sizes. So I'm going to vary the sizes between big and small. So I'm going to take a small grapefruit one here. Put that here, and maybe I'll take a medium grapefruit. Maybe put that right here. How about a green? Let's take a medium green. Maybe stick that one right here. How about a big green? Right there. That's some blues. Let's enhance this blue look. I'm going to do a medium and a small for these. So I'll do a medium here and a small. Just kind of like, it's super random. The more random you make it, the more interesting it is, I think. So, isn't that cute, you guys? Those enamel dots. Okay. Let's grab our sentiment, and I'm just going to put dimensionals on the middle of this. So it just pops up in the middle. I don't want to put them up on the edge because I want it to be flush with this part that we just raised up. And I'm just going to do 3 kind of in the middle here. And again, take those backings off. Otherwise, it just won't work well. There we go. Okay. And if you're still with me, I'm glad, because our next card is going to use a technique that's really neat. I'm excited to show you. It's called the masking technique, using stamps differently than how we masked on the card using just the Post-it on the stamp. So it's going to be like a layering maneuver. So you'll see what I mean here in a moment. So this ribbon is so skinny, but it makes the cutest little bows. It's just a little grosgrain ribbon, and this is the lovely lipstick grosgrain, and it's an 1/8 inch wide. So I'm just fluffing up the loops, because when you tie them, it kind of flattens them. So I'm just fluff her up, do a little fluffy action, and cut off the tails. And let's grab us a mini glue dot for this, and we're going to add the bow, and we are going to be done. And this 1/8 inch grosgrain ribbon actually comes in all of the in colors that I showed. So you can buy all the paper, the markers, the ink pads, the ribbons, the enamel dots. Oh my gosh, there's so many things you can get. If you love these colors, hop on it now, because when they announce that it's retiring, believe me, cardstock is usually the first to go, so just FYI. And there's also ink refills, so get ink refills if you buy the ink pads, because those are gone forever. Okay, look how cute. I love it. I love how all these colors go so well together too. Okay, well, that card's done. Let's move along to our next. our final card. We're gonna revisit the meerkats with this card. Also a celebration stamp set. And I gave away this stamp set a few weeks ago during live. So I don't think I have any more of the meerkats to give away. I don't know. Maybe if I do another order, I'll get that again and give that away. If you guys are interested in that one, give me a thumbs up if you like the meerkats. Okay. For this card, look, you guys, how cute is this? So we're going to make a birthday card. We're going to use the tailored tag punch, and I'm going to show you what we're doing there in a minute. Look at coordinating envelope. So cute. Okay, we're using the Gangs All Mirror celebration set, free with a $50 purchase, and you can literally only get it for free. You have to earn it. You can't just buy it. Or you can sometimes win those things from me. So we're using Old Olive ink, Rich Razzleberry, and Soft Suede. We're going to use a Soft Suede marker, and we're going to use, although I don't remember why, actually, why do I have the Soft Suede here? That is really funny and random, you guys. I have no idea why I have the Soft Suede marker. I don't think we need it. Anyway, we've got it in case we do. And we're using a blender pen. This is going to be fun to show you. So a couple techniques, blender pen and masking. So here's what we're using in terms of cardstock. We are using a standard card base using the Rich Razzleberry. This is a color I don't use enough. It's so pretty. We need a Post-it, which I've got here. I've got my inside layering piece. We've got these two pieces that we're going to stamp on and layer like so. And then we've got our scraps that we need for stamping. Okay. And then this is what we are doing on the inside. Oops. Hang on. There we go. Here's what we're doing on the inside, just stamping that cute little guy. Okay, so let me show you what it means to mask. We're going to be masking this cactus, okay? So let me show you. Okay, let me grab the stamp set. Didn't give myself very much room here today. So let's grab this guy. Okay. And we are going to stamp him. So he's partially stamped on the sticky part here, okay? So let's stamp him. I'm stamping him on the Post-it first because I want the ink to dry before I touch it, because the Soft Suede is a juicy ink pad. Okay, so I'm just going to set those aside just like that. And why I use Soft Suede instead of Old Olive is beyond me, because we are going to be stamping with Old Olive. Okay, so we're going to build this little meerkat birthday scene. And you're going to think this is so fun. Okay, so first what we're going to do is figure out where we want to put our cactuses. So whatever you mask is going to be in the foreground, okay? And when you mask something, everything that you stamp around it is going to appear to be in the background. So let me show you what I mean. Stamp that. I think my Old Olive pad needs to be re-inked soon, but I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. One of these days I will show you how to re-ink, but yeah, that's not going to be today. Okay, so I'm going to let these guys dry. I want them to dry completely. While we're waiting for those to dry, let's do our Soft Suede stamping on the inside of our card and our envelope. And that is using our little meerkat. Where did I put him? There he is. So we're using this little guy who's coming up out of the ground. He's being a little pest, like a little mole. Ugh, moles are so irritating. We get them up here and they wreck my life. My yard. Moleholes, and I mean, you're not even really allowed to trap them anymore, which I mean, I guess I understand, but whew, they do a number. All right, let's grab our envelope. So we'll just let this dry a moment, because we're going to come back with him in a bit. Okay, so I think we've got, the mask is probably dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our paper snips and we are going to quickly cut around the cactus. And the tighter the border, the less white space you'll have between the cactus and the meerkats in the background. You don't need to do a crazy fussy cut job. So if you want more white space, use a bigger border. If you want a smaller white space, cut tight. I'm cutting tight, but not like so tight that it's, you know, I'm stressing out on the fussy cutting. So we're just going to cut around those flowers. And we are going to put this, see, it's sticky still here on the post-it side. So we're just going to put this right over that. So we are covering up that cactus. So when we stamp our meerkats, we're not going to stamp on top of the cactus. Can't wait for you to see how this comes out. This is a really fun technique, you guys. And this is actually like this is an oldie but goodie. You can do so many clever things with it. I've seen so many. If you go on Pinterest and type in masking technique stamping, you will be amazed at some of the things people have done with masking. This is super basic compared to what people do. But I wanted to be basic for the first time I'm showing this. Okay, so we're going to cover that up too. All right, so let's grab our group of meerkats. All right. Do I still have people hanging in here with me? Give me a thumbs up so I can see if people are still here or not. And if you have to go, I get it. You can always catch the replay. And by the way, if you're watching this on the replay, you are still eligible to be entered in for prizes. Janet, who won the stamp set this week, she shared on the replay. So share the replay, but just again, please type share. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stamp these guys right here, right over that cactus. It's gonna look weird. Look, and you can, like, that guy's just peeking behind. Okay, so these meerkats are so goofy. They crack me up. Okay, so this guy, oh, I know why I had the pen now. I know why I did it this time. Okay, so this guy, we're gonna pop him. I'm stamping him here, even though we're gonna also stamp him and cut him out. So I did have some white scrap here, and this is for stamping because we're going to cut him out and pop him up. Now let's clean him off, and while I'm waiting for him to dry, let's stamp the guy who's standing here. Let's see, so this guy, we're going to put him kind of hanging out right here, kind of peeking out behind. And then this guy seems dry. So I just want him colored on his head and neck. So I am using the marker for this. Because I don't want to make another mask for that other guy. So that's why I got the pen, huffing on it. And then we're gonna stamp him here. So like he's popping out and look, he's darker. Oh well, or he's lighter. Oh well, that's okay. We'll take it. And look, he's got dirt coming out the side because the mask smeared. Oh well. Okay, that's the beauty about hand stamping. Am I right? Okay, so let's clean off the cactus because we're coming back to this cactus. We are going to stamp the background of our card. I'm going to let all of the soft suede ink dry. We are now going to grab this, and we're going to grab our rich raspberry ink. And now we are going to stamp around the side here, giving it kind of a random-ish look, because we're going to do a tone-on-tone background just to add a little bit of interest here. Just kind of stamping all over. We're stamping it up. Sorry, that was weird. Okay, I'll just do that one there. Why not? For good measure. Okay, we'll go ahead and clear that guy off. Okay, so the other thing while we have this ink out is we are going to stamp the little party hat. So let's go ahead and take this guy off. We're done with the cactus. Grab the party hat, and we're gonna stamp this and fussy cut this as well. And then let's stamp the sentiment, which is happy birthday to a stand-up friend. Okay, take the hat off. And we're gonna actually punch this out. I'm gonna show you a little technique to use a punch, but kind of alter a punch also. It's kind of neat. So we'll take that just like that. We're done stamping, guys. We are done stamping. Now for coloring and adding some detail. Okay, I'm confident that we're dry enough here for certain things here. I just need to clean up this one last guy. Okay, so this is the big reveal. Are we ready? So we're gonna just take that mask off. Oh my gosh, look at that, you guys. Our cactus is now in front of our meerkats. Isn't that neat? Hi, Bethany. Oh, I'm glad you're still here. Oh, thanks, you're so sweet. Okay, so we don't need these masks anymore. Though, if you want them to keep them for another project, you could keep it right in your stamp case if you wanted to, but I'll just, if I ever want to do it again, I'll just recut it. So I'm just going to recycle that. Okay, so what we're going to do here now is we are going to use we're going to make the ground and we're going to color the flowers. And, oh, why did I put that rich raspberry? Not only did I put it away, but I put it away in the wrong slot. That's so weird. Okay, we're using our blender pen. So what you want to do is squeeze this pad, and it will put a little pool of ink right there. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your blender pen, you're gonna color it to make sure it's clear, okay? And look, you grab it in the ink, and look how it does that kind of watercolor looking. Isn't that pretty? So let's do this for the little flowers on the cactus flower blooms. Give it that little beautiful light pink color. Just so pretty. And then if you want to darken it up a little bit, you can grab the dark and kind of go down those lines, like give it like a faux shadow kind of look to it. Isn't that pretty, you guys? And then the only thing you do to clean off your blender pen so you can use it again is just color, and it comes right off. So let's grab the soft suede. We're gonna do the same thing because we're gonna make dirt. Okay, and you guys are probably looking at this little guy going, what's wrong with his face? Well, guess what? We are going to handle that situation. So let's just go ahead and give these guys some ground to stand on. So just doing the same thing, grabbing that small amount of ink, and the blender pen kind of spreads it around. It's important to give these guys ground to stand on, especially since our sentiment says, happy birthday to a stand-up friend. We're going to color the dirt here in the cactus too. It's okay to stamp over that, or color over that little meerkat, because we are going to be cutting out the one that we stamped and popping him up on top of that. So I'm grabbing this a little bit darker and starting out darker at the top and then blending that color out. Now you don't want to go too crazy because now I'm starting to take some paper off here. So you want to be a little bit gentle. Because there we go. I think let's put just a little bit, maybe more back up here behind where they're standing, like so. Okay, I'm satisfied. Oh, let's make sure we got all the color off that. And we do. We're done with our inks. Okay, so let's do some quick fussy cutting. So we're just cutting this little guy and we are only cutting his head out. So this one, I want to show you a technique. Now him, I'm cutting him close to the edge. I'm not leaving any white around him. And then I'm going to show you, oh, and this is the other reason why I have that marker out, that soft suede marker. Isn't it funny? I designed this a few days ago and I'm like, why do I have the marker? And I'm literally using it for like 3 different things here. So, okay. We don't have to be too picky about his hair because he's going to be wearing a party hat. So we can just cut right around that. And again, when we fussy cut, we're moving the paper. We are not moving the scissors. That will give you the cleanest look. Now, this guy doesn't look very finished. You know, he looks sloppy, like maybe a 3rd grader did it. Nothing against 3rd graders, but you know, they're not really, you know, detailed with that stuff. So here's how you make it look like. You take your pen, your soft suede pen, and we're going to color over the whiteness and the core of the paper. So you're giving it that finished look so you don't see the white. This is like the best technique I've ever learned, the best tip I've ever learned for fussy cutting. It just gives that super finished look and it disguises any jagged cuts you may have made. Just want to be really careful because you don't want to color onto the image. And of course, this is giving me brown fingerprints right now. Okay, so we're done with that. Let's grab our little mini and we are going to pop him right up. And we are putting him, oh my gosh. You guys, these meerkats are so funny. They are weird. When I saw this, I was like, okay, I don't know who this is going to appeal to. And of course, it's one of those things that's like, oh, well, I guess it appeals to me. With the party hat, I'm going to leave a little bit of a white border. I'm not going to worry about. And I'm just going to kind of just cut a circle around this. No one's eye is really going to pay that big of attention to the pom-pom here on this thing. And like, oh my gosh, there's a white border. That's not going to happen. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and give this little guy a dimensional too. This guy might need a halvesy. Let's do a halvesy. And let's give him a little quarter in the middle of the pom-pom too. See, you can make these dimensionals any size you want. You can handle the tiny, go for the tiny. In fact, I don't like how his little neck is a little loose, so I'm going to take, not to waste anything, I'm going to take this little guy, oops, and surgically implant it underneath there to give him a little more stability right there. Get in there. There you go. Okay, and let's take a look to make sure on the other side we can't see the dimensionals, and we can't. Oh, you know what? I know why I didn't want it. Hold on. Let's see. This will probably be fine, actually, because let's just give him a little dot of glue, because we're actually going to pop him, glue this to his head. Just a little tiny dot. And of course, it's being a pill. All right, there we go. Smear that on there. Okay. Oh my God. That is so funny. I don't know. This just tickles me. Okay, let's glue this guy to the layering piece, the old olive layering piece here. I really like this color combination. In fact, my boyfriend was watching me, or came up to me when I was designing it, and I showed him this card, and he goes, ooh, I really like those colors together. So even a dude likes these colors together. It's not just a chick thing. And he normally doesn't really comment on stuff like that. So I was a little surprised by it, but happy. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're just going to glue this straight flat to the card base. Just center it on there. Okay. And now we're going to get clever with our sentiment. So, and of course, this is probably too short to put in here. Look, so I can't really layer that very well. Let me show you a fun little trick. I could either restamp it on this and, you know, slide it in this way, you know, which I could totally do. But instead, let's just do a little quick little dot there, like so. Make a little handle. So we're going to, oops. All right. Slide this in here. And I really want this to be centered, but I want that point at the bottom. So I'm kind of centering that in there like so. Okay, I'm gonna punch it out. Okay, we could take this off. We don't need that glued anymore. That'll just come off. It's still wet. Okay. Ow, you guys, this doesn't look very good. Okay, let's keep going though. We're gonna keep trucking. I'll send my sample to the winner instead of this one. I'm gonna redo this, but just for this one, showing you what we're doing. You're getting the general deal. So I'm putting this in the mini trimmer and doing that. You could also use scissors. But, you know, I'm using the mini trimmer because I want to show you this, because you can literally only get this by signing up as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And as I said, I'm going to have a little information about that in a separate video. And again, no commitment or anything. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm part of Stampin' Up! And now I have to do everything and build a business and all that. No, that's not the case at all. You can if you want to, but we'll go over it. There we go. So I just kind of made this, and it looks kind of like a really bad. This is the worst demonstration I've ever had, you guys. I'm so sorry. Anyway, it's gonna look like this, and then we're gonna do the same thing to this. So we're going to put this in the tailor tag punch like so, and stamp that out, or punch that out, and then glue this to here, and then we're going to trim around it. But I need to do a better one of that, so I'm going to do that off camera, but just to kind of show you, you know, how it would work. So I would glue it, and then we just trim this off. So you get this little dart of green below it. Sometimes you make a mess up, you guys, and you just fix it, and that's fine. So here you go. So that's what it would look like. Okay, and just stick it right there. So let's pretend like we did that perfectly on this one. And here's our card. So we have that nice stamped border. We did the masking technique with the cactus, so they're kind of standing behind the cactuses in their little landscape. And then you got a little guy in the party hat popping up out of the dirt. And then on the inside, I just did that. So I just thought it was so cute. So anyway, what do you guys think? You like the cards? I really like these cards. Sorry I messed up the sentiment on that one, but it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, and, you know, we're only human, right? So anyway, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about events I have coming up. If you're local to the Seattle area, on March 26th, I am having a Stamp-a-Stack. And what that means is we're going to make 12 cards, 3 each of 4 different designs, and I will be doing an online version of that as well, because I know a lot of you are not from these parts but might still like to participate. So I will go ahead and figure out a way to do the Stamp-A-Stack online as well. But we're going to meet at the Pizza Coop in Woodinville and eat dinner. The cost of the class includes, it's $25. It includes dinner, dessert, and all of the supplies and things that you need to make those 12 cards. And you get to go home with 12 awesome cards and have had dinner and dessert and all you can drink pop. And if you want wine or beer, you can buy that too, but that's going to be on you. The cost of the class does not include spirits, but I'm not going to tell you no. So looking forward to that. And then we'll do a Stamp-A-Stack online. I'll probably like pre-sell kits, and then we'll walk through it together, and I'll send you guys kits, and maybe it will be like free with a $25 purchase. So let me think about how I'm going to do that, and I'll get that off to you. I also wanted to show you that I'm designing a class, my March online class I've been working on. And so we're going to be featuring the So Sentimental stamp set and also the Stitch So Sweetly dies. And we're going to be using this paper. So, and this mint macaron ribbon. So we are going to be using the So Sentimental stamp set. This is out of the current mini catalog, and this is one of the cards that will be included in that class. And then here's the dies that we're going to use. Let me show you those. And so what we will do is I will sell kits, and you can buy the stamp set and the die cuts if you want. I will do all the die cutting for you, by the way. So if you don't want to buy the die cuts, or the Stitch So Sweetly dies, you don't have to. You can pick anything you want. You don't even need this stamp set either. But this, you won't receive stamped images, so you will need some sort of sentiment stamp set to do with these cards. And then I'll send you all the paper trimmed, cut, ready to go to your way. So look out for details for that coming out soon. I'll be posting that on Facebook and Instagram. So again, I appreciate anything if you share the video, leave your comments, ask questions. If you requested catalogs last week, I got almost everybody out, and then I ran out of catalogs. I thought I had another box and I didn't. So I am so sorry. So a couple people are waiting on the annual catalog, but those should be here on Tuesday or Wednesday next week. So I'll get those right in the mail. If you don't have a catalog, you don't have another demonstrator, and you would love a catalog, I would love to send you one. So just let me know. I can only send into the US. Anyway, thank you guys so much for your time today. I appreciate our mornings together. And next week, I think I'm going to focus on kits next week, because I have kits building up. I bought kits out of the catalog. I've got my paper pumpkin. I want to show you guys the fun that comes along with buying kits from Stampin' Up! Okay, with that, you guys, have a really great weekend. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week at 9. Bye. Let's see.